everyone, it's Aki Rain here with a video on how to practice choreography effectively. Unfortunately, I don't have a talking animal character yet, so you'll have to deal with my human self for this video. First off, I have to start this video with a disclaimer. I have no formal or professional dance training. I have gone to college dance classes, I've gone to workshops at FurCons, and I've watched and learned from videos on YouTube. Nevertheless, I'm hoping that this video will have some information that other dancers find helpful, and if there's even a little something you can take away, I'll be happy. Additionally, this video is intended for those who are practicing choreography with the intention of performing it later. Of course, you can just dance for yourself. However, there can be a little more pressure that comes with performing, and hopefully this video will give you an idea of what direction to take your practice in. Now, how do you practice your choreography to get the most out of your time? Tip number 1, plan for your space. Are you making choreography for a fursuit dance competition, or just a show on YouTube, or somewhere else? If you're entering a dance competition, the judges and the audience will want to see you use your space to its potential. You'll get more points if you use the stage well. First, just for using all the space you have and making your dance more exciting. And second, your audience will be more involved if you can get right up to them, instead of dancing far away. If you're planning to perform at a dance competition, look up videos from previous years of the dance competition at that convention on YouTube. Some dance competitions have an elevated stage, and some dance competitions have a stage on the floor with audience on 3 or even all sides. And the stage will be bigger than you think, so plan some moves to get yourself across the stage that's not just walking. Tip number 2. Memorize your choreography. This sounds obvious, but it's important for your practice. Find a way to memorize your choreography well that works for you. Split it into sections or draw pictures of your choreography to review. One dance class that I took would even put words as cues to each music so you could go through the words in your head as you dance. So you had 2 ways to remember that dance. And memorize your moves well so that if you need to during practice, you could start at almost any point in the music and just get right going into your choreography. This way, if something throws you off when you're performing, you can still know where you're going with the dance rather than losing your focus. Not to mention, you'll need to memorize your choreography for the next tip I'm about to give you. Tip number 3. Drill your choreography slowly. Yes, you can learn a dance fairly well just by doing it over and over and over, but you're not going to get the same level of precision as you do if you slow your dance down and work on each move individually. If you up your dance's precision, it will look more intentional and thus more impressive. Especially if you're choreographing a fast song, it may help to go into a free audio editing program, or one that you already have, such as Audacity, and make a slower version of your track that's at 90, 80, or even 70% of the original song's speed. Then, once you know your dance well enough, tip number 4, do your dance without music. Go through every single one of your movements, bit by bit, without the music in the background, so you don't have to worry about keeping the beat and then going to the next thing. Work out all the ambiguities in your moves so that you know exactly where you're going 100% of the time. Unless you want to have improvisation sections, which can be a lot of fun and is perfectly fine. If at all possible, do this in front of a mirror, even if it's just the mirror in your bathroom or in your bedroom. This way you can see in real time if your movements are exactly where they need to be. If there's any movements that you find are giving you particular difficulty, or just need to be extremely clear to work in your dance, stop and do just those moves, over and over. There was one move in my routine at Anthro New England in 2017 that needed the precise angle and beat to work, especially because I have my wings. So, I just stood in one place and did that move over and over for about 5 minutes until I could switch from one of my poses to the other, and hit those precise right angles without having to watch myself in the mirror. Yay, it's Aki. Well, not really, but it's a mini-me. Tip number 5, record yourself, even though you've just practiced a ton in the mirror. Recording your dances on video can be scary, particularly because sometimes your dance looks way better than you think it will. and sometimes it looks a lot worse. But don't be discouraged. If you record yourself, you can go back and watch it as many times as you want without having to do the dance at the same time, so you can see finer tweaks that you might need to make. Video yourself at least a few times, so you can see what you consistently mess up and what you consistently do well, so you know what to work on. Then, dedicate more time to making improvements in your dance. Tip number 6, ask people you trust for critique, even if they're not dancers. Because guess what? If you're performing at a first year dance competition or on YouTube, some of the people watching you will be dancers, but a lot of them are not. Of course, in either case, still follow the principle of what critique you want to take and what critique you feel isn't so valuable to you. But this means it might still be worth considering if your non-dancer friend tells you, "Wow, this part looks awesome," or "I think this part got a little boring, maybe you should work on it." And on the dancer side of things, one of my favorite things about the furry dance community is that everyone is so supportive and kind to each other. If you're comfortable, post your videos on YouTube or Twitter or anywhere else and ask for critique. I'd also be happy to help if I can. Send me a message on Twitter or Telegram at AkiRain64 if you'd like me to try and critique your dance. Tip number 7. Then, after all this, go back and revise if you have time. But don't overwork your dance. If you over-practice your dance, it's going to start feeling like a restriction instead of a roadmap to tell you where to go when it's performance time. And if you get bored of your dance, it's going to make a visible difference in your performance. If you're not excited, the audience probably isn't as much either. Still, your choreography may have to go through several stages of revision before you get it to where you want it. It's not unusual for your choreography to look way different at the end from how it was at the beginning. It's even expected. It means you grew a lot. And now that you have all these tips, go out and practice. I want to see what you all are up to, so feel free to link me videos if you have any. If you found this video useful, or not useful, let me know. I'll be making more of these informative type videos in the future, as well as continuing my own dancing, of course. So if you enjoyed this, I encourage you to like or comment or even subscribe. Thank you very much.